Welcome to another episode of our Cornerstone lesson review, and in this episode we're looking at Sunday's section of the lesson. It says that we should read the story of the 12 spies who went into Canaan, as in Numbers chapter 13 and 14, and respond to the questions given in your lesson. Why do you think this lesson is in the Bible? As you reflect on it, what do you think is the message God has for us today? What aspects of the story speaks to your life? So let's go quickly to the into the story section of the lesson, where we can find some more on that. The Lord said to Moses, "Send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From the ancestral tribes, send one of its leaders." So it's not just ordinary people went, leaders. So at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the desert of Paran. When Moses sent them to explore Canaan, he said, "Go up through the Negev and into the hill country. See what the land is like and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad?" They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the desert of Paran. There they reported to them and to the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. They gave Moses this account: "We went into the land which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit, but the people who live there are powerful, and their cities are fortified and very large." Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are." That night, all the members of the community raised their voices and wept aloud. All the Israelites grumbled against Moses and Aaron and the whole assembly and said to them, "If only we had died in Egypt or in this wilderness." Then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly gathered there. Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite assembly, "The land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord. And do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." And this is taken from sections now of Numbers chapters 13 and 14. Let's go now to the out of the story section, which deals with the questions. Why do you think God told Moses to send out an exploration party to look over the land of Canaan? Now, sometimes we need a little booster. Sometimes we need a little evidence. And I think after traveling through the wilderness and all of that, the good report should have, given the children of Israel the confidence that they needed, that yes, the land is there. Yes, it's flowing with the milk and honey. Yes, I see the cluster of grapes that is so large that 2 men have to carry it. That evidence was supposed to motivate them, I think. What impressed most of the explorers about Canaan? What were they afraid of? I think the quality of the land, because they said, yes, indeed, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, but they were afraid of the people more than anything else. How was Caleb and Joshua's attitude to the new land different from the attitude of the other men? All of them were agreed on the fact that it is a land of milk and honey. The obstacle that was there, 10 of them said it's insurmountable. But Caleb and Joshua did not look at it from the point of view of we can't defeat them, but if God is with us, who can be against us? Next question. Why do you think Caleb and Joshua reacted differently? Faith. Faith. I think it boils down to faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. In fact, God had given them a little bit, not the whole Israel, but one man from each tribe to take it back to his particular constituency and to say, listen, I went there, I saw it, it is good. When the time comes to fight for it, let us go up together and claim what is ours. Right? I think that was the purpose of sending the 12 spies. But instead of coming and giving a good report, we have there a bad report that is being given. Faith, I think, is the difference. When you face fear in your life, that's the next question, are you more like Caleb and Joshua or more like the other 10 spies? That's a hard one to say. You're always one of the other. In some circumstances, depending on what the nature of the fear is and how deep-seated it is, you may be the Caleb and Joshua. Listen, man, we know business we are going, we are going to overcome. We shall overcome. Or there are times when, depending on what it is, you might be very fearful and reluctant as the other 10 spies were. Next question. It says, and the final one, what can you learn from this passage that might help you to deal with frightening situations in your own life? Well, one that clearly jumps out is that take the time to look at where the different information is coming from. Okay, so when we have fear, information is coming to us. Is the fear coming from a place of we cannot overcome the obstacle? Or can we look at the same set of circumstances and say, if God is with us, who can be against us? So, as we wrap this particular lesson, there's much food for thought. Go back, read Numbers 13 and 14 for yourselves, and take a look at the questions again and see how they personally apply to your life. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.